Good morning and welcome from Geneva College. I'm Mike Romai, the host of the Live Mic on WBVP and WMBA. Today we are at the Geneva College cafeteria for the big event, the State of the County event, sponsored by the Beaver County Chamber of Commerce. And joining us now is the president of the Beaver County Chamber of Commerce, Donna Lee Seipel. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
It's good to talk to you again. How many years is this now for the Chamber Breakfast?
That is a very good question. It's been going on for quite a while. I know it precedes a couple of my predecessors, so at least a decade or two.
Well, no, it's got to be longer than that because I spoke with Tony Amadeo a little earlier, and he said, I've been to at least 12 of these.
All right.
And I had to miss a couple of them in between. So the State of the County is a big event for not only politicians and business people, but Beaver County in general. What do you hope to present today?
Sure, I hope that the over 200 people that are going to be participating in the audience have a chance to ask questions and learn about what's going on in the county from our commissioners. Mm-hmm. Having all three commissioners here and having them available in this kind of casual and conversational atmosphere is really fantastic. So it gives them an opportunity to be heard, especially during election year.
Now, the Chamber has put this function on for quite a while, and these politicians and business people, they have to reserve a spot to come here and learn and understand from the commissioners what the future is going to be for Beaver County. And as far as business and a business organization is concerned, what are your business members telling you they'd like to see more of in Beaver County?
Sure. Well, when I started in June, I went out and visited all of our key members, try to listen to the folks that have small businesses, medium and large businesses, and overwhelmingly workforce development is a priority for everyone, as it is across the nation. So we're trying to work with partners, work with government, work with universities and colleges in the area to try to bring training and to move that along. As a matter of fact, I'm looking right now at a grant that we may be able to get to help develop some of that programming and that effort.
Very
with
good.
Partners.
I know that I have spoken with the Department of Economic Development here in Beaver County, and they're talking about millions of dollars that are still coming into the county in manufacturing and different aspects of the county and the economy.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in Beaver County. It is amazing. It's had a chance to tour recently some of the factories that are here. I'm going to butcher the name, but it's an Austrian company called Stozela.
Okay.
And they're the old anchor hawking plant.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They're doing fantastic work. Now they're, again, owned by an Austrian company, producing some fine, high-level perfume, fragrance bottles, and distillery bottles, believe it or not. Things like Jack Daniels and Bullet Bourbon the bottles for that are being made there and then shipped all across the country and the world.
Oh. So it's an exciting time, and it continues to be exciting for business and people moving to Beaver County, because I know there are some real estate people here as well.
Yes, there are. As a matter of fact, one of our sponsors on the bronze level happens to be the Beaver County Realtors Association. So yes, development, taking a look at properties and places that our friends at CED have and our other partners. There's a great interest and not a great amount of property that's available right now that's ready to be developed.
Yeah.
So
that's a very good sign as well.
Yeah.
And the economy keeps rolling along. The jobless rate in Beaver County is pretty low. David Lozier, the district attorney here in Beaver County. But as far as the economy is concerned, it continues to roll along in Beaver County as well, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Donna Lee Seipel is the president of the Beaver County Chamber of Commerce, and I know there are a lot of people interested in talking with you, so we appreciate you coming by and telling us all about it. I guess at about 8:20 they're going to have breakfast between 8 and 8:20, and then you're going to give some opening remarks. And the three commissioners, do they make statements, or are they just going to field questions?
Yeah, well, first they'll each make about a 5-minute statement and talk a little bit about what's close, near and dear to their heart and their passion for moving things forward in Beaver County. And then we'll begin to collect the statements. Folks that are here will be able to write down the questions that they have, and then they'll be gathered and then sent up to our moderator, who's Tracy Lawless from K&L Gates.
Okay. And who is she going to be your MC this morning?
Yes, she is.
Okay.
She's the moderator. So,
okay, moderator of the whole thing. So there's a lot going on, and the excitement continues to build, right?
It does.
Thank you, Donna Lee, for coming over and talking with us today.
We
really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks.
And we're going to continue because we're broadcasting this for the next 2 hours here at the Geneva College. Thank you very much. And we will continue our broadcast, and we will bring you the comments and the questions to the commissioners throughout the morning. We are broadcasting live from Geneva College for the State of the County event here on Beaver County Radio, 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA. We're also broadcasting, streaming live on Facebook, on WBVP Facebook. So tune us in for that, and don't miss a minute of the State of the County here on Beaver County Radio.
At Fry Transportation, their mission is to continue to raise the bar as the gold standard in their industry by providing the safest, most reliable, and cost-efficient transportation service in Beaver County through their strong relationships with their communities, best-in-their-class drivers, equipment, and technology. When it comes to school buses and student transportation, no one has the safety record and reputation that Fry has. Fry Transportation, a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years, keeping our kids and our communities safe.
Of the many things that make St. Barnabas Health System apart from the ordinary is an appreciation for their employees, an act that does not go unnoticed. Let's learn more about what this means from one of their employees.
Hi, my name's Susan Elleteri. I'm a registered nurse at St. Barnabas. Our team is responsible for the excellent care of our residents. Tending to their specific needs is very important. We pursue compassionate care, hard work, and kindness, and it is an extremely rewarding career, and I'm very grateful to have nursing as a career. It's extremely rewarding. We can acknowledge the goodness in our life, and I do believe that.
Find out about the exceptional career opportunities St. Barnabas has to offer by visiting stbarnabashealthsystem.com/careers for more information, or by calling 724-444-JOBS. That's 724-444-5627. Find out why St. Barnabas is apart from the ordinary.
Circle Friends has an amazing opportunity for you to meet new people. That's because for a limited time, while a new location is being prepared for the Baden location, all activities have been consolidated in New Brighton. That means if you haven't been to Circle Friends lately, you're apt to see some new faces from the other end of the valley the next time you drop in. No matter where you live in Beaver County, Circle Friends Senior Activity and Enrichment Program in New Brighton welcomes you. Enjoy daily hot meals, exercise equipment, line dancing, bingo, car clubs, and more. Plus, Circle Friends also provides important assistance with income tax and Medicare counseling. All activities and meals are available for one low donation. Call 724-846-1959 for more details. Want to know more? Don't be a square. Join the Circle. Circle Friends. Stop by Circle Friends in New Brighton, located in the former St. Cyril's Church. Call the office at 724-846-1959 or click cofbeaver.com. You're tuned in to a presentation of the 2023 State of the County Address being held at Geneva College in Beaver Falls. The State of the County is being presented by Beaver County Radio along with BCR streaming outlets in conjunction with the Beaver County Chamber of Commerce, who is the host of this event. Coverage of the State of the County on Beaver County Radio is being brought to you by St. Barnabas, the Fry Transportation Group, Carver Construction, Circle Friends, the Beaver Valley Auto Mall, J. Young Refuse, Electric Garage Door Sales, the Cornerstone of Beaver County, and the Lockwood Insurance Agency.
.1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. I'm Mike Romine. We're at Geneva College for the State of the County. And of course, if you've been a resident or a member of the community for at least the past 25 years, you know this guy, Tony Amadeo, Beaver County Commissioner. Tony is going to do a little Dean Martin to start off the program today, right?
Basically, you just imply that I'm old.
No, that's great. You said you've been attending these things for at least a dozen years.
This is my 16th year in office. I think throughout the 16 years I may have missed 3,
Okay. Yeah. So, in all those years, you've seen the changes. Where do you think Beaver County is today?
It wasn't on.
Oh, you weren't on. See, that's because I was going to have you sing, and they turned off.
Oh,
the
there you
microphone.
go. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go. Can you hear him now? I think we're good. Okay. So, in the last 16, 17 years, Beaver County has changed a lot. Where are we in 2023? Yeah.
I remember when I first got into office, we were in a Great Recession. Nobody was doing anything. Nobody could borrow money. Nobody could build anything. It was a bad time, and we were able to come from that to where we are today.
Yeah.
And I'm very, very proud of it.
Yeah, and where are we today? I mean, you came through the time when you guys went out and recruited Shell for the polymer plant, and that's up and operating, and there's millions of dollars invested there. So 2023, we just had an event across the border that you're aware of. But in terms of economy, how's Beaver County doing?
Beaver County's doing very, very well. All you have to do is check the building permits in the municipalities, and you'll see that there's building going on everywhere. So I don't know if people are moving from outside in or people are just buying bigger and better homes, but the construction in Chippewa, Brighton Township, Center, it's phenomenal right now.
Yeah, Center Township, you're right, Chippewa. These are multi-$100,000 homes. These are in the neighborhood of $500,000 to $1 million homes being built.
I remember when they were $18,000 homes being built.
Yeah, and the property values are going up. And it's one of the things that will come up today, the reassessments, because I guess we're expecting that ball to drop sometime this year.
Yes, we should be getting about March 15th, sometime afterwards. You'll get a value, an assessment, which is basically not to panic anyone, but it's the amount that your house will sell for today. And then all the figures will be adjusted to bring down the millage so that it's a fair, equal distribution of the assessed values. Now, the bottom line is commissioners weren't for this. We fought it in the court system.
Chuck Betters.
In essence,
he wanted it done.
What we've done, and I'm the only one that's left that was originally sued. We delayed the reassessment process for almost 8 years now.
Mm-hmm. But now it's coming to fruition. Some people will be on the higher side, and they're not going to be happy about it.
Basically, it's one-third, one-third, and one-third. One-third goes up, one-third goes down, and one-third stays the same.
Yeah, so hopefully those numbers will work out for Beaver County residents. I just mentioned the incident that occurred across the line in East Palestine, the train derailment. You were out there yesterday. Can you tell us what's going on?
Well, right now, everything's dissipating. There was a controlled burn-off. Governor Shapiro came in, Governor DeWine, who I got to meet, by the way, and it was great not having to look up like I am to you, because we were like eye level to eye level. And I thanked him for him protecting Ohio and helping us protect Beaver County.
Yeah.
Because everybody's involved. The EPA's involved, protecting people. We have a number out that people can call if they're really concerned. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. That's all right. We can keep talking. Can you continue to hear us? As long as they can continue to hear us. That's Donnelly Seipel. They're getting ready up there. But as far as the air and water, that is going to be continued to be monitored.
Right. And as a matter of fact, when I went there, I had to go in the back way through Negley to get to the site. And there was people in the water taking samples, people filming it. So I'm sure it's either the EPA was there or Ohio's DEP. Mm-hmm. But they were checking the water samples, and I was fascinated.
Yeah.
They were on top of that so quickly, which is good for our people.
Yeah, very much so. Negley, huh? I used to go through, I used to make stops in Negley several years ago, Tony. We're going back about maybe 40 or 50 years, Negley, Ohio.
I'm sure I've
pretty
seen
interesting
you there.
sites over there.
Yes.
And establishments in Negley.
I left my youth there.
But at this point, everything seems to be going well as far as East Palestine, Darlington, the residents, the evacuations, the road closures, and things like that will all be coming about.
Yes.
This is a very fluid event here.
Yes, it is.
People will be walking in front of us, and I know you have to get back up on the dais because you guys are going to be talking and answering questions from folks in the audience.
We're supposed to do a short presentation and answer questions.
Okay. Very good. Well, enjoy the breakfast.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Beaver
Always
County
a
Commissioner
pleasure.
Tony Amadeo. Always good to see you, Tony. Thank you very much. 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. I'm Mike Romai, and we're broadcasting live from the State of the County event that occurs annually here in Beaver County, and for the past couple of years, the program has been put on at Geneva College. It is sponsored and presented by the Beaver County Chamber of Commerce, and there are a number of sponsors and dignitaries who are here today that we hope to be talking to throughout the morning, but we are going to bring you the entire program as it begins. The group here is going to be served breakfast at around just about now until about 8:20, when the question and answer period will take over, and we will step aside and bring you that as well. So you won't miss a minute of it here on Beaver County Radio. So stay tuned for the State of the County event happening at Geneva College on 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, 99.7 FM, 99.3 FM, and broadcasting live, streaming live on beavercountyradio.com.
The cold winter weather is here. It's the perfect time to think about repairing or replacing that old garage door. Call Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca today at 724-774-3200. Electric Garage Door Sales has the parts and know-how to make your doors work like a charm. They feature CHI quality garage doors and LiftMaster garage door openers. With over 50 years experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Make 2023 the year you call Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca, or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com. It can be hard to imagine being homeless, yet many vulnerable people are just a paycheck, illness, or family emergency away from homelessness. Each year, hundreds of individuals and families struggling with homelessness or housing-related crises turn to the Cornerstone of Beaver County for help. The Cornerstone of Beaver County provides emergency housing, basic needs, and resources. And this spring, they'll open the county's long-awaited 24-hour men's emergency shelter in Vanport. If you or someone you know is facing homelessness, call the Cornerstone of Beaver County at 724-846-6400 or visit cornerstonebeaver.org.
J. Young Refuse in Industry is proud to be an integral part of Beaver County for the past 34 years. Featuring a wide range of recycling services for contracted areas, they are sure to help you get the job done. The J. Young Refuse team of professional drivers consistently exceed safety and service throughout the day, while their customer service representatives take professionalism to the next level. Call them today at 724-495-6199 with any questions you may have.
Drive into the Beaver Valley Auto Mall's Express Lane Service Department near the mall in Monaca right now and get 3 oil changes, including 5 quarts of full synthetic oil, a multi-point inspection, and tire rotation for only $165. That's just $55 per oil change for full synthetic. You won't find a better price anywhere in Beaver County. Purchase a set of tires and get $40 off an alignment. Everyone's saving at the Beaver Valley Auto Mall Express Lane. Call 724-371-0566.
You're tuned in to a presentation of the 2023 State of the County Address being held at Geneva College in Beaver Falls. The State of the County is being presented by Beaver County Radio along with BCR streaming outlets in conjunction with the Beaver County Chamber of Commerce, who is the host of this event. Coverage of the State of the County on Beaver County Radio is being brought to you by St. Barnabas, the Pride Transportation Group, Carver Construction, Circle of Friends, the Beaver Valley Auto Mall, J. Young Refuse, Electric Garage Door Sales, the Cornerstone of Beaver County, and the Laughlin Insurance Agency.
And of course, that was Reverend Calvin Traup. He is the president of Geneva College and giving the invocation for the meal that is about to take place here at the State of the County event. I'm Mike Romai, and you can hear the murmuring in the crowd as many business leaders, people who are here from the county to give an address about the state of Beaver County going forward, not only today, but for 2023 and the future. Of course, a lot of attention has been paid to Beaver County over the past 48 hours, 72 hours, because of the train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio. So a lot of people are interested in that and learning more about it as we are here in Beaver County. One of the things that I've noticed, and you see the crowd moving behind me, they're going to breakfast right now. They're going over. They're the first table. They're the lucky people who were called in for the first table to be able to go have breakfast this morning here at this event. So that's what's happening now. At this point in time, and it doesn't have anything to do with anything at this point, but I'm looking at the podium and I'm seeing the commissioners Jack Manning and Tony Amadeo on there. I don't see Commissioner Dan Camp as of this point. So it will be interesting to see as we move forward as to whether or not Commissioner Camp. It is very early because nothing is happening yet. They're just going to have breakfast. The actual presentations aren't supposed to take place until about 20 minutes after 8. But in terms of where Commissioner Camp is, we're not sure if he is going to make it today or not. But we'll keep posted on that sort of thing. More people coming in. Realtors are here. Real estate, of course, is a major component to Beaver County's success. And what we have learned over the years, and especially the past couple of years, is that these things are not happening just around us in other counties, but Beaver County is also benefiting from the housing market that has been going well over the past couple of years, and properties are being sold and rehabbed in Beaver County. So that's an interesting aspect to our economy and everything that is happening in and around us. Dave, hold on for a second. Dave Lozier, Beaver County District Attorney. Come on over this way, Dave, so that we can talk with you a minute. I know we're interrupting your breakfast, and you were fortunate enough to be one of the people who were called first to breakfast, unlike a wedding where you're always the last table. But
I heard about the bacon.
Yeah, I hear him say that.
That's right.
Maybe you can drop some off here on your way back.
I'll do that. I'll do that.
Tell us about law enforcement in Beaver County. What's happening? Just very quickly, as we talk about the state of the county, what is the state of law enforcement in Beaver County?
Two major issues. We have a problem with young juveniles with guns. We're always fighting that through the juvenile system, but also trying to solve the homicides and shootings as fast as we can. We just had a murder trial. Last week we were able to resolve the day we picked a jury. That's always good. And then the other issue in Beaver County right now are the mental health issues. Mm-hmm. We have so many people coming out of COVID with just the stress of not having treatment, either addiction or mental health or financial, and their lives just fell apart. And so the impact, committing crimes or trying to use the criminal justice system because there's no mental health system, for the people that are violent. Yeah. It's sad.
And the mental health system, it obviously has a lot to do with insurance and whether or not these people have insurance. So
that's right.
There's a lot that's included in those sort of things, and that has to come at a state level, right? Federal level even.
Yeah, the issue is you have somebody who's violent and there's no place to provide the treatment. If they need inpatient care, we just don't have the facilities anymore. Yeah. And the jail's not the proper place for these people.
Well, thank God we're not hearing about it in Beaver County as much as we are in surrounding counties, Allegheny County, Pittsburgh police, just a shooting yesterday that took the life of another police officer in McKeesport. What's going on with law enforcement? Why are they seem to be targeted more nowadays?
I think it goes back to juveniles with firearms. There is a lack of respect, and when you have society attacking police for multiple reasons, but the value of police right now is very low among young people. Mm-hmm. So we can't recruit police. Society demands that they be trained to a very high standard, and we're doing the best we can, but there aren't enough police out there, and the ones that are there are in danger every day because they're hated by a sector of society.
So guns and availability of guns that are out there being stolen by
That's
people.
right.
These are probably law-abiding citizens' guns who
Right.
bought them legally, but then they get stolen and are
Right.
used in street crimes.
We have, I'll bet we have probably a couple hundred guns a year stolen from people's cars in Beaver County, where people go through neighborhoods flicking door handles or breaking into cars. It used to be that they'd want pocket change or steal your GPS. They want the gun. And people are leaving their firearms unsecured in an unlocked vehicle or in a vehicle that they're breaking into.
And how do you get that message out to people to not only lock their vehicles, but don't keep your guns in the car?
On the radio. How about that? We tell people on the radio.
Yeah. that doesn't seem to do any good, right?
Nah.
What did I see? This person that allegedly shot this police officer in Pittsburgh in McKeesport had they're saying PTSD. So again, you're dealing with mental health issues.
Right. When I took over the SWAT team back when I was elected 8 years ago, we rebuilt the SWAT team. We were having, say we have 35 to 40 activations of the SWAT team a year. Right now, about a dozen of our activations are for mental health, where we have someone barricaded in a house that needs mental health, is violent, is threatening to kill themselves or kill someone else, and the SWAT team goes as law enforcement. And it's a violent situation, but it's that mental health component.
Yeah.
That's why I added, we have mental health professionals that deploy with our SWAT team every time they go out, because most of our deployments are mental health.
Yeah. And it's a sad situation. I've also I also understand in terms of the mental health aspect of it all and the police getting involved with it, that one of the most dangerous calls a police officer can go out on is a domestic dispute.
That's right. Yeah, probably a third of these officers who were shot are responding to a domestic dispute. And then another third is traffic stops, and another third of mental health.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sad situation.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can get deeper into it at a different time, another time where we can spend some time talking about it and how we can protect ourselves against
I think I'm on the radio Thursday morning, so we'll talk
it.
again.
Is that right? Okay, very good. Good to see you, Dave.
I'll bring you some bacon.
They said that the bacon, yeah, they still have some bacon left over there. Thank you. Beaver County District Attorney David Lozier talking with us about some of the issues facing Beaver County and Beaver County residents. And we see it on the news all the time out of Pittsburgh about police shootings, about people with guns, people stealing guns, and we have those issues right here in Beaver County. It was just a couple of days ago when Aliquippa Mayor DeJuan Walker had put out an announcement telling residents of Aliquippa to please lock your doors, because there are these kids that are out there and they're breaking into cars, and sometimes they don't even have to break into them because you leave them unlocked and you give them access to it, and you're keeping your guns in your car. We'll have David Lozier on at a future date as well to talk more about this. We're at Geneva College this morning, and we're talking with some of the dignitaries that are here, some of the lawmakers, decision makers in Beaver County. It's called the State of the County event, and it's put on by the Beaver County Chamber of Commerce, and we're going to broadcast it live. So you'll hear those questions and the answers coming from the different people throughout the morning. We're going to stay with it the entire time and let you hear and see. If you're watching Facebook, we're broadcasting this on Facebook Live, and we're streaming live at beavercountyradio.com. 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA. I'm Mike Romai, and we'll continue from the State of the County breakfast. Make this the year you make all your remodeling dreams come true, and call Carver Construction in New Brighton today. Satisfying customers since 1982 for both residential and commercial renovations. Professional, reliable, and fast. These are words you don't easily come by in the construction business. Let Carver Construction help with your remodeling plans right now. Spring is almost here. Call 724-847-1572 or visit their website, carverconstructionpa.com. Carver Construction, building dreams one home at a time.
Insurance doesn't adequately describe what we sell. This is Bill Laughlin from Laughlin Insurance Agency. Sure, affordable insurance is the means that allow us to do it, but we really provide at the Laughlin Insurance Agency is peace of mind. It's true, worrying about risk can take the fun and joy out of almost everything. We see every day how having peace of mind can lead to more enjoyment, which, last time we checked, is a fairly priceless commodity. Make life more enjoyable. Visit LaughlinInsAgency.com.
At Fry Transportation, their mission is to continue to raise the bar as the gold standard in their industry by providing the safest, most reliable, and cost-efficient transportation service in Beaver County through their strong relationships with their communities, best-in-their-class drivers, equipment, and technology. When it comes to school buses and student transportation, no one has the safety record and reputation that Fry has. Fry Transportation, a local family-owned Beaver County business for over 30 years, keeping our kids and our communities safe.
Of the many things that make St. Barnabas Health System apart from the ordinary is an appreciation for their employees, an act that does not go unnoticed. Let's learn more about what this means from one of their employees.
Hi, my name's Susan Elleteri. I'm a registered nurse at St. Barnabas. Our team is responsible for the excellent care of our residents. Tending to their specific needs is very important. We pursue compassionate care, hard work, and kindness, and it is an extremely rewarding career, and I'm very grateful to have nursing as a career. It's extremely rewarding. We can acknowledge the goodness in our life, and I do believe that.
Find out about the exceptional career opportunities St. Barnabas has to offer by visiting stbarnabashealthsystem.com/careers for more information, or by calling 724-444-JOBS. That's 724-444-5627. Find out why St. Barnabas is apart from the ordinary.
Circle Friends has an amazing opportunity for you to meet new people. That's because for a limited time, while a new location is being prepared for the Baden location, all activities have been consolidated in New Brighton. That means if you haven't been to Circle Friends lately, you're apt to see some new faces from the other end of the valley the next time you drop in. No matter where you live in Beaver County, Circle Friends Senior Activity and Enrichment Program in New Brighton welcomes you. Enjoy daily hot meals, exercise equipment, line dancing, bingo, car clubs, and more. Plus, Circle Friends also provides important assistance with income tax and Medicare counseling. All activities and meals are available for one low donation. Call 724-846-1959 for more details. Want to know more? Don't be a square. Join the Circle. Circle Friends. Stop by Circle Friends in New Brighton, located in the former St. Cyril's Church. Call the office at 724-846-1959 or click cofbeaver.com.
1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA, the State of the County Breakfast. Joining us now is Judy Enslin. And Judy, you've been involved in Beaver County government for how many years now?
A lot.
Too many. Too many to count. Have you attended a lot of these functions?
I attend the State of the County every year.
Okay. So a lot has changed in Beaver County, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. I think we're really advancing with some of the changes that have come through with the cracker plant. That's, I know it's not always popular, but I think we're moving forward.
In my previous life as an employee of the Beaver County Humane Society, you were very helpful on a number of occasions with the Humane Society. You're an animal lover, and I just recently saw where you adopted a pet. You got a new dog.
I have a new baby. Her name's Tazzy, and she's a joy, and I have to thank Humane Society every day for hooking us together.
Yeah, and I've seen the pictures. You're a very proud pet mama now, huh?
I'm a fur baby lover. I want to show her off. I hope I'm not, overextending my Facebook time.
Well, listen, I don't want to keep you because I see your table has just gotten called for breakfast, and look at the bacon. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that food there. Man, the bacon looks delicious. And okay, so let me ask you, because you live out in the area near East Palestine. You're in Beaver County, but just barely in Beaver County. So your area has somewhat been affected by what happened with the train derailment in East Palestine. What has the experience been like for residents out in that area?
In my area, because I'm right in South Beaver, I'm a half a mile from Route 51, we really haven't anything bad. I mean, we did see the controlled explosion, the smoke from it last night. I would commend PennDOT and our South Beaver Township Police Department for the job they did in blocking the road at 51 and 168. The traffic on 168 really wasn't that bad. We've had little impact where I reside.
But you saw the smoke plume
We've
and
seen the smoke. I heard the boom on Friday night when I had Tazzy out for her walk at night.
And I guess some of the concerns now in the rural areas such as that is the water and the air quality, but the EPA continues to monitor it.
Yeah, I do worry about the air quality, and I do worry about the well, because we have a well, and I am concerned with the individuals that are out in East Palestine and Darlington Township that it would affect their drinking water.
Yeah, very much so. So the situation has continued to be monitored. You're a happy pet mama now and proud adoptees, and you can tell everybody if you're looking for a new animal, then you got to adopt a shelter pet.
Yeah.
And yours was not a spring chicken, right?
No, Tazzy's, she'll be 7 or 8 in August.
But that's it. People like puppies. And people always want to come and get puppies and kittens and stuff like that.
You know what? She was a dog. She was a rescue from a bad situation, and she was very shy at first. She's coming out of her shell. Just don't look at puppies. You know what? Since I got her a week ago Saturday, she's not had one house accident. She's learned how to sit. She had her bath. She's been to the vet. She's very healthy, and I have to commend the Humane Society because when I adopted her, they gave us food, they gave us a leash, they gave us bowls, they gave heartworm pills, flea drops because I adopted a senior. And you know what? I was so surprised when they handed me all that material. It was like, I just left PetSmart. I didn't have to do that. So now I have enough supplies for 3 months.
Very good. Well, wonderful. Enjoy her.
I am.
Appreciate you doing that and helping shelter animals. And thank you for being here and talking with us.
Well, thank you.
When the most exciting thing that usually ever happens in Darlington is Darlington Days.
Darlington Day is wonderful. Yeah. Wonderful. I know my brother owns an auto body shop out in Darlington, Richner's Auto Body. And he always uses his flatbeds for the displays and for the grandstand. Yeah. But you know what? We have so many people that come out to Darlington Township.
It's an exciting event.
And yes,
Very good.
is.
Thank you, Judy.
Come on out.
Enjoy your breakfast. Thank you. Beaver County Clerk of Courts Judy Enselin here on 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA. I'm Mike Romai. It's about 8:24. We're in Geneva College for the State of the County breakfast, sponsored by the Beaver County Chamber of Commerce. And in an earlier report, I said I hadn't seen Commissioner Dan Camp, but just a few minutes ago, Commissioner Camp did come to the event, so he will be at the podium as well this morning, giving comments and also answering questions from the many people who are here today. They are expecting about 200 people to attend this event at Geneva. This is the second or third year that it's been held at Geneva College in the cafeteria here on the campus of Geneva College. It was moved here a few years ago, and it seems to be well attended, and people are excited. And of course, in Beaver Falls, where our radio station is located, I'm sure the city people of Beaver Falls are excited and thankful to have such a group come here on an annual basis to come through the city and see the many things that are going on in the city. The calendar of events here this morning, the timeline is supposed to be, it starts at 8 with a breakfast, which is going on now, and you see the people standing in line to get the delicious breakfast. And then at about 20 after, we were supposed to have the comments section of the program, but I'm sure that's going to be delayed just a few minutes while everybody gets their breakfast in terms of seating and all that going on here today. I see Dan Camp, Commissioner Dan Camp. I'm doing well. Thank you for coming on with us this morning. I looked over my shoulder once or twice. I said, I don't see Dan Camp here yet.
I was running a little bit late. You know, first thing in the morning, I get both kids ready for school, so I was happy to be able to spend some time with them. And with this such large of a crowd, I don't think we're going to be starting on time. It doesn't look like it.
No, it doesn't look like it, but that's okay because I understand that the breakfast is delicious.
That's what they say. I'm going to wait till after. Lindsay from Geneva said, do you want to eat now or after? I said, I'll eat after. Let's let everyone eat so we get started.
Very good. So how has everything been?
It's going very well. It's good to see you back on the radio. Beaver County's continuing to move forward. Commissioner Amadeo and Commissioner Manning and myself. It's been a long couple years here with COVID, and then now we have the ARPA funds that we're going to help our municipalities out. So we're doing well, and I think the county's doing well overall as a whole as well.
And in terms of development and everything like that is going on, I know it's been a few years since we've talked, but the cracker plant is up and operating. Things are working. And I just saw him here just a couple of minutes ago from the CED. He says there's a lot of money coming into Beaver County.
Absolutely. We always talked about for the last 4 or 5 years about non-disclosures where we couldn't talk. Now we're starting to see these things come to fruition. We're seeing the Ohio River get developed on both sides of the river, up into Center Township, 376 Chippewa. We're starting to see those monies be invested now into the community that we've been hearing about since you and I have been talking in 2016 whenever the cracker plant announced.
Yeah, very good. I think I last saw you in the parking lot at Bowser's about a week and a half ago. I saw you, and I didn't want to go and seem like I was jumping out of the hedge and say, Dan.
I wish you would have, because my wife and I tried to solicit all of our local restaurants.
Yeah.
We eat out a lot. I eat out a lot for lunch. Bowser's is one of our spots we go to, so it was good to see you.
Good to see you. Now, I tried to pull strings here because I think she's your mother-in-law, Pat? Or grandmother-in-law, or
Miss.
Yeah,
my aunt.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Aunt
She's
Pat.
Aunt Pat. So I'm Facebook friends with her, and I said, Pat, can you? I said, I'm back on the radio. I've only been here a month. I said, but I want to get Dan on the show. Can you pull some strings?
She did say so. Aunt Pat's a avid listener to WBVP, WNBA.
Yeah.
She always looked forward to whenever I was there on Thursday mornings with me. Ask the commissioners. So I think not saying because you're there, but maybe I could start coming back and have those good conversations.
I'd love to do that. Love to, because I want to keep in touch with what's going on in the county.
Absolutely.
And how things are working out.
Thank you for always reporting on the county and sending Matt to our commissioners meetings, because we don't have much media in Beaver County anymore, but WNBA and WBVP is one of those outlets that we always continue to go to whenever we want to get information out. So thank you,
Appreciate that. Enjoy your breakfast.
Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Dan Camp here on Beaver County Radio, and so it's good to see him and then the other dignitaries who are here today. What is it, about 8:28 here at Geneva College in Beaver County, checking on the forecast for today. We're supposed to get some rain moving in this afternoon, maybe a little bit of rain moving in this afternoon, but temperatures are going to be better today than they were yesterday and were Saturday for sure. We're supposed to go up into the mid-40s today for a high temperature, and then by Thursday, I saw the forecast for Thursday, and it says about 62 degrees on Thursday. So whether Punxsutawney Phil said a week ago that it was going to be 6 more weeks, I don't know that we're going to be able to predict the weather over the next couple of weeks, because it's going to fluctuate from the 30s to the 60s with a little bit of rain, maybe a few snow flurries, but we're going to get through the month of February with, I think, very little precipitation. So we're looking forward to that. We're looking forward to what's happening here today as well. It's the State of the County event, sponsored by the Beaver County Chamber of Commerce, and we're happy to be here. We're just right in the middle of things. Actually, as you can see where I'm standing, we got Curtis and Keith Walsh manning the operations here, and so Keith is moving the camera around as I have to move around, because there's something more important than me broadcasting here, and that's these people trying to get to the food, and they have to get to the buffet tables, so they're passing us by on their way to the buffet tables, and in the process we're going to try and talk with as many of these people as possible to find out what's happening in the county, what they're looking forward to as far as county development is concerned. Of course, they are politicians for the most part, and they're probably going to put a positive spin on things, but there are positive things that are happening in Beaver County. There'll be questions by this audience that's made up primarily of business people from a number of business sectors around Beaver County, so they're going to want to know the state of the economy and what they can look forward to. The employment pictures all over the country has been going well, and especially here in Beaver County, when we have businesses say they can't find employees, that's because there are so many jobs out there that many of the employees can pick and choose, and somebody is offering a better starting wage or benefits or things like that. It's difficult for maybe some of the smaller businesses to attract those employees. Well, we'll hear about that. We'll hear about the development, and I would expect that this morning we are also going to hear about what happened in East Palestine on Friday evening and how it continues to impact Beaver County, and especially through the areas of Darlington, Enon Valley, and Big Beaver, South Beaver Township, and those sort of places. Darlington especially. So I would expect those questions will come up this morning, and how it is going to impact and what impact is actually occurring in Beaver County in terms of the air quality and the water quality. Are we going to be polluted in any ways, and do we have to be concerned about that? So that's all coming up, and we hope to bring that information to you. We are broadcasting live throughout the morning from Geneva College. We're also streaming live at Beaver County Radio and on Facebook Live as well. So you can see the events, you can see the commissioners answering the questions and the give and take between the commissioners and the audience here at Geneva College. For the State of the County breakfast on Beaver County Radio, 1230 WBVP, 1460 WMBA, and streaming live at beavercountyradio.com.
The cold winter weather is here. It's the perfect time to think about repairing or replacing that old garage door. Call Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca today at 724-774-3200. Electric Garage Door Sales has the parts and know-how to make your doors work like a charm. They feature CHI quality garage doors and LiftMaster garage door openers. With over 50 years experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Make 2023 the year you call Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca, or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com.
J. Young Refuse in Industry is proud to be an integral part of Beaver County for the past 34 years. Featuring a wide range of recycling services for contracted areas, they are sure to help you get the job done. The J. Young Refuse team of professional drivers consistently exceed safety and service throughout the day, while their customer service representatives take professionalism to the next level. Call them today at 724-495-6199 with any questions you may have.
It can be hard to imagine being homeless, yet many vulnerable people are just a paycheck, illness, or family emergency away from homelessness. Each year, hundreds of individuals and families struggling with homelessness or housing-related crises turn to the Cornerstone of Beaver County for help. The Cornerstone of Beaver County provides emergency housing, basic needs, and resources. And this spring, they'll open the county's long-awaited 24-hour men's emergency shelter in Vanport. If you or someone you know is facing homelessness, call the Cornerstone of Beaver County at 724-846-6400 or visit cornerstonebeaver.org.
Drive into the Beaver Valley Auto Mall's Express Lane Service Department near the mall in Monaca right now and get 3 oil changes, including 5 quarts of full synthetic oil, a multi-point inspection, and tire rotation for only $165. That's just $55 per oil change for full synthetic. You won't find a better price anywhere in Beaver County. Purchase a set of tires and get $40 off an alignment. Everyone's saving at the Beaver Valley Auto Mall Express Lane. Call 724-371-0566.
Make this the year you make all your remodeling dreams come true and call Carver Construction in New Brighton today. Satisfying customers since 1982 for both residential and commercial renovations. Professional, reliable, and fast. These are words you don't easily come by in the construction business. Let Carver Construction help with your remodeling plans right now. Spring is almost here. Call 724-847-1572 or visit their website, carverconstructionpa.com. Carver Construction, building dreams one home at a time.
You're tuned in to a presentation of the 2023 State of the County Address being held at Geneva College in Beaver Falls. The State of the County is being presented by Beaver County Radio along with BCR streaming outlets in conjunction with the Beaver County Chamber of Commerce, who is the host of this event. Coverage of the State of the County on Beaver County Radio is being brought to you by St. Barnabas, the Fried Transportation Group, Carver Construction, Circle of Friends, the Beaver Valley Auto Mall, J. Young Refuse, Electric Garage Door Sales, the Cornerstone of Beaver County, and the Laughlin Insurance Agency.
From Geneva College at the State of the County breakfast brought to you by the Beaver County Chamber of Commerce and broadcasting live on WBVP, WMBA, and streaming live at beavercountyradio.com. As you can see, we have Commissioner Dan Camp. Commissioner Jack Manning is with us. Dan came over and talked with me. I was very excited about that.
It's the haircut.
Yeah,
We get that a lot.
Well, it's similar beard too. But it's good to see you here this morning.
It's good to be here. Thrilled that you guys are covering this. It's like old home week for me.
Well, Jack was the president of the chamber.
Yeah, but a lot of people I haven't seen for a while. There's a bunch of different circles that you kind of gravitate through, and it's good to see some old friends, some business colleagues, and some others here today.
You impressed by the turnout today?
Very impressed. This is terrific. Geneva College, Dr. Traub has been very gracious in hosting this for us, and we're very appreciative. And Geneva does a great job, and they got a lot of people dedicated to doing good things in the county, and it's nice to be here.
Well, I think the Chamber did a good job getting the word out, but also for the people to have confidence in Beaver County and the work the commissioners are doing to show up and want to know more.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to the questions. I don't have a long state of the county speech here because I really want to hear from the folks that are here today. I mean, you have small business, large business, nonprofits, educational institutions, realtors. I mean, it's just a tremendous eclectic mix of people here. And it's a good way being able to do this every year to kind of start off the year and get the perspective of what's important to people, what's on their minds, see where some of the problems are that we can step in and help solve. And also acknowledge a lot of the great work that's being done.
Employment and development always seems to be big topics when you come here. As far as employment is concerned, we have record low unemployment numbers.
Yeah, it's tough. We actually, our unemployment was 4.5% last month. That's down to the levels pre-pandemic. If you recall, we were at 18% in April of 2020. So to have this, it's almost full employment. I mean, the people that are making up that number, 15,000 of our residents that are unemployed, either don't have the skills, aren't fit for duty, as we used to say. My business, either physically or mentally capable of doing some jobs, and don't have the training and skills. So we've got a real crisis now with people wanting to hire more people and can't find enough talent.
I can hear behind me some people talking are hitting microphones, so they're probably getting ready to get started.
Yeah.
Let me ask you about the event in East Palestine and how it pertains to Beaver County, the evacuations and things.
Yeah, so it only hit a small slice of Beaver County. It's kind of rural areas there, fortunately, and about 20 homes were evacuated. It's under control. The monitoring has been good. There's no threat to the immediate community. They're handling it the best they can, and I think we're over the hump on that.
Okay, very good. So. Commissioner Jack Manning, thank you for being here. I see they're starting the program. Thank you, Jack. Commissioner Jack Manning on WBVP. Donna Lee Seipel is addressing the crowd. She is the president of the Beaver County Chamber of Commerce, and I'll step aside so that you can hear what they have to say as we bring you this program, the State of the County Breakfast at Geneva College, live on 1230 WBVP and 1460 WMBA, and streaming live at beavercountyradio.com.
And Shell Palmers. Our silver sponsors today are Express Employment Professionals Pittsburgh West, First National Bank, Gateway Rehab, PA Cyber, Penn Energy, Range Resources, the Claber Group, and West Banco. Our bronze sponsor today is the Beaver County Association of Realtors. Today, the Beaver County Times will be covering the event for us. There are partners in media as well as WBVP, WMBA Radio, and they're here today live covering the event back at the back table. So you'll be able to see that, I believe, on Facebook later on if you're interested in following up with that. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Brittany Golden. She is the chair of the Beaver County Chamber of Commerce. Hi, good morning. Thank you.
So I think the elephant in the room is how great was that bacon? Right? Totally worth it. Worth the calories. So good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. I do know we have a busy agenda, so I will be brief. I really just want to take the opportunity to thank you for attending. I want to thank the staff for all the hard work they put into making an event like this happen. I'd like to thank our esteemed guests here to my right. And I'd like to thank our Chamber Board of Directors. So would our Board of Directors that are present please stand? I think they're all at my table, ironically. There you go, there's Carl. Thank you all. So we appreciate your service. If anyone here is interested in learning more about the board, please see me. You will see in your email inbox and on our website that we will be having some folks leave our board and we will be having some new people join. So we'll have some details about that coming soon. But have a great day and thank you again for coming. I'd like to introduce our presenting sponsor, Harry Kunselman. Harry is with Strasburger, McKenna, Gutnick, and Geske. I practiced that, Harry.
Thank you, Brittany and Donna Lee. Welcome, everybody. I'll be brief in my comments, but I want to say that Strasburger McKenna is very proud to be the presenting sponsor again of this event this year. When you look at the attendance this year, it really speaks volumes about how the Beaver County business community cares about Beaver County and the future of Beaver County. So we look forward to our dialogue with our commissioners this morning. Just briefly about Strasburger McKenna, we had our humble beginnings back in 1919 in Pittsburgh, and the firm has evolved and grown over the years to be the full-service law firm that it is today. We've had a presence in Beaver County and have been supporting the Beaver County business community since 2001. We are long-term proud members of the Chamber, and we're very proud to support not only this event, but other Chamber events throughout the year. So whether you're wanting to start a business, or buy a business, or grow your business, or protect your business, or sell your business, or transition it to the next generation, I'm confident that the team at SMGG could be helpful to you. Just want to briefly introduce two of my colleagues who are joining me here today. Lisa Henry is sitting at our table. Lisa handles estate planning and administration. Gilda Arroyo is sitting at our table. She works with me and others in our litigation practice group, helping businesses resolve their disputes or protect them in litigation. And Gilda also, interestingly, has an immigration practice, so if your business or folks that you know have some immigration issues, please feel free to see us. Finally, there are some pens at your table. We encourage you to use those to write down questions for the commissioners today, and feel free to take one home with you. And with that, I look forward to our program and invite President Trout back to the podium. Thank you very much. Well, we're delighted to have you here, and thank you, Donna Lee and Brittany, for your work in pulling this all together. We're really thankful to have you with us today, and look forward to the conversation. If you haven't been to Geneva College before or haven't been on campus recently and would like to have a tour, we've made arrangements so that after the meeting, you can have some students take you around. And Lindsay Porto will be at the back, so if you would like to have a tour, just meet with Lindsay at the back and she'll connect you with tour guides to get you a tour of campus. It's a pretty day in February in Beaver County, and so it's a good day to take a walk around if you'd like to do that. I often am telling people that they're the future. I make those remarks from time to time, not here. We are not the future. We're the present. And it's our watch. And at Geneva College, we're really grateful for our elected officials. We're really grateful for the people that God puts in place to lead us. And so we're glad to be a part of this. I want to especially let you know how grateful we are to be in Beaver Falls. We have our mayor, Kenny Johns, with us, and our city manager, Vic Jones. And if you folks would stand up, be recognized. We went through a branding process this past summer, and we had a new logo. And those of you that have been through that process know that can be torturous. Ours wasn't. It was a wonderful process, and so you'll see if you look at the logo that the Beaver Falls are on the logo. The falls, the lines of the falls are there because we were recruited to come to Beaver Falls. We used to be in Northwood, Ohio, Northwest Ohio, and we really understand that God called us through the Harmony Society and the leadership of Beaver Falls at the time to come and be here. And so part of our role and our job is to pray for the peace and prosperity of our city. We do that. But as my mom always taught me, if you're praying for something, you better work at it. And so we're working at that in the city. I also want to acknowledge the amazing work of my colleagues at Penn State Beaver and at CCBC. So we have Chancellor Jen Cushman with us. Jen, would you stand please? Those of you who are in the county are more familiar with Jen than you are with me. And the reason for that is she does such amazing work in our community. And together with Jen and President Roger Davis of CCBC, who's not able to be with us today, we got together very early in my time here and Jen's time here and forged a group called Bridges and Pathways. And Bridges and Pathways, our task is multiple things. We really want to make sure that any Beaver County student can get the world-class education, higher education that's available in our county. And we have a number of cooperative agreements so that a student can move, for instance, through CCBC and come either to Penn State Beaver or Geneva College to finish their degree. And we're working to strengthen those ties and to continue to build those programs. The most visible thing that you probably will see soon is the Beehive on 7th Avenue in Beaver Falls. And that has been many years in the making, and we went through the COVID hiccup just like everyone else did. And I really want to say thank you to Lou Bellotti for his leadership in helping us find a way, which is what happens in Beaver County. Many of you know that I was raised in Beaver Falls, and one of the things that's really true about living in Beaver County is you learn a tremendous work ethic, and you learn how to figure things out. And so we're really grateful to be able to be engaged that way. And so we look forward to the time together, and thank you all for coming to Geneva College today.
Good morning. My name is Scott Monnet. I'm the chair of the Government Affairs Committee for the Chamber. I've been doing this off and on for 18-ish years. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. Harry, thank you. Harry's the former chairman of this committee, so thanks all, and thank you, President Trump, for hosting us today. This is a beautiful campus, and we certainly love Geneva. So again, my name is Scott Monnet. I've been involved with the Chamber a long time. I own a sign company locally. It's called Brown Dog Sign Company. And we're pleased to be in Beaver County. I'm not from Beaver Falls, my dad is, but there's always a connection somewhere in Beaver County. Before I get started, I'd like to recognize all of our elected officials that are here today, or most of you, I'm sure I'll miss somebody, so apologies in advance. We have State Representative Jim Marshall representing the 14th District, which includes Beaver Falls. We have Patrick Doyle, who is the Southwest Regional Director for Governor Shapiro. He's here representing the governor this morning. He's here somewhere. Is Sarah Cox here from U.S. Representative Chris DeLuzio? Sharon? Okay. Here right We have Sandy Egley, who's the Beaver County Treasurer. Sandy. Maria Longo, Beaver County Controller. Although not in attendance, Beaver County Sheriff Tony Guy, maybe he'll come a little bit later. We have Mike Rossi, who's the Beaver County Prothonotary. And I think I saw Dave Lozier here as well. He's the District Attorney for Beaver County. I'd also briefly like to share the legislative priorities for the Chamber. So every year, who am I missing? Oh, Tracy, Pat, and Jess. Hi, Tracy. Sorry. I knew I'd forget somebody. Oh, Judy Enslin, too. Where's Judy? Oh, hey, Judy. I told you I'd miss somebody. Anyway, so I'd like to briefly share the legislative priorities for the Chamber. So every year the committee gets together. We have about 30 people on the committee. It's probably the most active committee with the Chamber. And we distill down what's happening out there politically and try to find a few things that make sense for Beaver County and for the businesses of Beaver County. So these are the priorities that the Chamber is going to actively pursue and advocate for this coming year. The first one is to actively support ongoing education initiatives in Beaver County. Obviously, that's very important. Support the implementation of broadband access to all parts of Beaver County. I think we'll hear a little bit about that this morning. Support economic growth, business, and workforce development in the county. Work with county government and business leaders to support a comprehensive and collaborative marketing strategy for Beaver County. We want people to come here, obviously. And advocate for responsible and competitive tax policies. And I know at the state level they helped out with that last year, so we're very grateful to Jim and all his colleagues for passing the new corporate net income tax. At this point, I'd like to introduce our moderator for today, and she's also the Vice Chair of the Government Affairs Committee, Ms. Tracy Lawless, who is the Government Affairs Counselor for K&L Gates. Tracy represents healthcare, manufacturing, energy, and transportation. I have engineering on the mind, and transportation sectors. She advises companies on strategic policy development, issues management, and government solutions for the local, state, and federal levels. Tracy was named 2021 top lobbyist for the National Institute of Lobbying and Ethics. And if that isn't enough, she is also appointed to Governor Shapiro's Transition Policy Advisory Committee. Ladies and gentlemen, your moderator for this morning, Ms. Tracy Lawless.
Good morning. Is this on? Yes, okay. Well, Scott, thank you for that very kind introduction. All of that fancy talk about government affairs counselor is really just what's on the next slide. I think, Molly, if you want to flip that one over. And I can assure you, no seals were harmed in the photoshopping of that slide, but I thought it was sort of a little way to bring some levity to what I do every day, which is none of those things except for helping clients navigate state and federal local government as well. Thank you, Donna Lee, for your bringing this together and for your team. The future for the Chamber is very bright. I'm so impressed with who you've recruited and where you're going in the direction with the Chamber. And thanks to Scott Monette for his leadership in the Government Affairs Committee. So a lot of you know K&L Gates is a very tall skyscraper in downtown Pittsburgh. That's a law firm, and that we're in 40 offices across 5 continents. But we also have a very well-established team of lobbyists in our Pennsylvania and in our Washington, D.C. offices and a couple of other states. So I just wanted to mention that. So before we begin, a few housekeeping items. I am not a ranking official in Beaver County, but I am the only person that can cut off any of our panelists. So just put all you gentlemen on notice right now. We are on a time schedule. As I think Harry mentioned, there's cards available at your table to write down questions, and nothing's off the table. We're going to really get to all those. I think we did last year. We just do that just so there's not overlap of the same question. That way we can kind of lump them together into topics and get to all of your questions. And if we don't get to all the questions submitted, I know the commissioners stick around. You can come up and talk to them one-on-one, or you can follow up with the chamber, after this event. So, on to our program. Let me just do a quick introduction, because I feel like we have a lot of new faces. We have a much larger turnout this year. Commissioner Tony Amadeo, did I got it right? You've held office since 2008, but before that you held a number of public service positions, including the Center Township Supervisor, and worked as a school teacher. And the commissioners also played an integral role in improving infrastructure and really positioning the county for unparalleled workforce and education options. And you have a boatload of grandchildren. So, Commissioner Dan Camp, you've been commissioner since 2015. And at one time, you were the youngest chairman of commissioners throughout the Commonwealth at one time. Now you're more seasoned, right? And I can attest that I have seen him a number of times in Harrisburg, really just fighting for the betterment of Beaver County. We've run into each other in the Capitol a couple of times, and you're also the manager at BMAC Trucking and father of 2 lovely children. And then, the new guy, Jack Manning, Commissioner Manning, you were lucky enough to be sworn in, I think, right in the middle of a pandemic. Just before. What a great time to come into this position. But prior to that, you led this chamber during the very pivotal time of bringing in the Shell cracker plant. And I know you worked in the petrochemical industry for multiple decades, and you're the grandfather to a lovely young man named Jack. So welcome. I just wanted to point out before we get into all the topics and questions, and to kind of level set and make everyone think about what they all do as public servants and serving your county at such the local level. They truly are the ultimate public servants as county commissioners. And just so we can all appreciate the work that you're doing as county commissioners, your duties include serving on boards of prisons, economic development, planning commissions, workforce development boards, board of elections, retirement pensions, and assessment appeals, in addition to all the other stuff that you're doing. So we might not realize it, but I think these commissions and these boards and these task force, they really have a significant and meaningful impact on our day-to-day lives and our quality of life in Beaver County. So I'm going to give each of you just a couple of minutes to make opening remarks. I know you want to do that, to talk about sort of what your priorities and topics are at a high level. But if you could also just sort of mention, I think it'd be fun and interesting for the audience to hear about what makes you most excited about serving as a county commissioner, and what really motivates you as you make your opening remarks. And you want to start with Commissioner Camp?
That's no problem. Good morning, everyone. It is great to see so many faces and so many new faces here at this event. The turnout's wonderful. I know last year we had some snow that held a few people back. Before I get into my brief remarks, I know Scott was very thankful enough to introduce our elected officials, but there are a few other people that I would have to recognize that work for the county. We have Chief Radadovich here with the Sheriff's Office, who's sitting over there with our elected officials. Director Gerard Mike, who is our new Human Services Director. We recently have created a new Human Services model in the County of Beaver. Lance Grable, who is our Director of Planning and Redevelopment, and Tony Caltori, who is our Director of Tourism, Parks, and Recreation. And I also have to acknowledge our staff at the Commissioner's Office, because I know a lot of people here who, whether you contract with the county, whether we share services, you speak mostly to our staff and not the 3 commissioners. We have Chief Clerk Nicole Long, Cindy Cook, who is a Beaver Falls native and is also a public servant herself, who serves as president of Big Beaver School District, and Brittany Colangelo, who works in our office as well. So I want to thank you for everything you do for the county. Again, I'm going to keep this short. I am honored to serve in my second term as commissioner. As Tracy said earlier, before I became commissioner, I really, wasn't sure what I was getting myself into. Commissioner Nadeo taught me very quickly that every day there's a new fire to put out, which goes hand in hand with what we dealt with yesterday. Beaver County was on the national news. So I also would like to thank all of our first responders who responded to that incident in East Palestine, Ohio, Governor Shapiro's quick action with Governor DeWine on making sure that everyone in eastern Ohio and western Pennsylvania continues to stay safe. One of the things that I believe that I look forward to serving as commissioner is my children. Commissioner Manning can say the same thing, as his grandchild is now growing up in Beaver County. Commissioner Mandel is a lifelong resident who had kids grow up, now he has grandkids grow up. We want to make sure that Beaver County stays a place that can prosper and continue to grow and continue to stay on the map. And with the help of our state legislators, Jim Marshall, Josh Kale, Rob Massey, Elder Vogel, and Senator Bartolotta, who has a small piece of Beaver County still, we are your voices to them to make sure that across the Commonwealth, Beaver County is continuing to grow. In Beaver County, we would like to continue to grow. So that's the most, one of the things that I really look forward to as a commissioner is making sure that growth continues, our school districts stay good, and our youth stay safe.
Well, I'd also like to thank Dr. Trout, Geneva, the Chamber for doing this. It feels like Old Home Week a little bit for me. A lot of familiar faces, a lot of people I haven't seen for quite some time. So I'm excited to be here. I love these forums. To begin with, just a couple of remarks about my reflecting on the state of the county. I do believe the county is very stable financially, and we're providing very good governance during some very tumultuous times. One of the things just to point out on our watch that's happened, our bond rating went from BBB plus to A-. That may not sound like a big deal, but I can tell you in the bond market, it means we're trustworthy, we're investment worthy, and it reflects the financial responsibility, our fiduciary responsibility to govern the county financially is being handled very well. I think that's a very important thing. Our pension fund is fully funded. Sandy will probably collect me the numbers, but you all are paying your taxes at a mid to low 90s rate, which is very good, especially coming out of the pandemic, especially coming out of high unemployment just a couple of years ago, where our median income fell significantly after the pandemic. Median household income is about $62,000 in Beaver County, which I think reflects the growth. Unemployment's down, as you know. As a matter of fact, it's probably too low if most of you are struggling to find the competent talent that you need to continue to grow your businesses, something that's important to us. But we have good reserves, good debt ratio, so I think first and foremost that reflects why I think the county's in very good shape. And again, to reflect on what Dan said, this isn't just because of the three of us, it's because of every single row officer, every single department head, the people that Dan mentioned previously. It's a very good collective effort in managing and providing good government, good governance to the county. There's still a lot of issues, and what motivates me are those issues still out there. Our poverty level in Beaver County did dip a little bit, but poverty with children still is a little under 18% of our population. That's way too high. There's a lot of issues there. So solving problems and continuing to grow the county is what motivates me. The other thing I would say is we get a lot of hits in Beaver County about the declining populations. Our population has actually dipped up. Our decline has been less than the Pittsburgh metropolitan area collectively, which continues to lose a lot of population. We have an aging demographic, but our median age went from 45.1 years to 44.9. Again, when you're dying off quicker than you're repopulating, it's not a good scenario. And Dr. Trapp, you mentioned the harmless. I guess that celibacy thing sounded like a good idea at the time, but we kind of know where the harmonists are now, right? So if you aren't growing your population, right, if you aren't continuing to attract and retain residents, you're in a losing proposition. Now, what motivates me is continuing to grow Beaver County and all those things. And the other thing is, I'm a pragmatist. I'm a realist. I face reality as it is. As a commissioner, you have to look out there, look at the problem. that reality versus dreaming about what I think it should be or would like it to be is secondary to dealing with the day-to-day problems, as you said earlier, Dr. Trout. So what motivates me is solving problems. I don't care who you are, where you come from, what you do, nonprofit, small business. I like to remove barriers and obstacles from people reaching their full potential, and that's what motivates me every day.
Good morning, everyone. Apparently Dan Camp didn't get the memo this morning about wearing the commissioner blue check shirt. Yeah, he has the logo though. That's important. It's a little difficult when you go last because everybody mentions things that you want to say. But I just want to say for myself, I've been humbled. I'm blessed with 2 different careers in my lifetime. I went from teaching about former presidents and U.S. senators and Secretary of States to actually introducing them at functions and banquets where I was the de facto representative of my government. And it's just profound to me. It just brings a tear to my eye. And that's one of the reasons I keep doing this. I really enjoy what I'm doing. I'm enjoying the fact that I can see my constituents face to face. I see them every day. I see them in grocery stores. I see them in liquor stores. I see them everywhere I go. Even when I was a teacher, I shopped local, stayed local, and that's the blessing of being a county commissioner, being with your people, being with your public. Now, I wrote some notes down. I want to make sure we cover a few things. Well, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. The main thing I want you to know is that we work well together. We don't always get along. I don't always get along with my wife, to be quite frank. But at the end, we agree to agree or we agree to disagree. And it effectively makes government work. And that's so important for each and every one of you out there, that government in Beaver County works. Perfect example, yesterday. We do so many different things. Yesterday, I noticed Dan Camp was gone. His car was out there, but he was gone. So I figured maybe he went to Ohio. But I got my car, and I remembered that I had my Region 13 badge, and I had to go all the way around, back around, and through Negley actually to get to East Palestine. And we were able to be part of what actually transpired in East Palestine. And Mr. Jack Manning came. It was a great feeling. I tell you what my biggest great feeling was is I got to look eye to eye with the governor. I didn't have to look up and talk to him because he was my size. That doesn't happen very often. And yeah, I really enjoyed that. And I thanked him for doing what he did for Ohio and helping us do what we did for Beaver County. And we kept our people safe. That's one of our main responsibilities. And we did it with much vigor, I might say. As a matter of fact, I tried to go home after that and look over my notes to see what I was going to say today. My phone kept ringing. I guess we were on TV. I still haven't seen it yet, but my phone, like I said, kept ringing. You guys, I'm sure, had the same parts. Again, what you have to understand is what our main function as county commissioners, and we've been very proficient and progressive on it, is protecting our children, serving our families, managing our emergencies, safeguarding our elections, and securing justice in Beaver County. That's what we do. The other stuff is just the extra things that we do. And the job is very, very complicated, but it's a lot of fun. She's looking at me, so I'm getting the idea that the hook's coming out. So thank you for your attention, and thank you for coming this morning. I really appreciate the fact that so many people came. Thank you.
Just when I get
me the same.
Check.
Hello.
Now I have to look at Lou.
Yes, they say it's working. Fantastic. That was very impressive, very nimble.
Except now I have to look at Lou Galante, so the podium.
I just, before we get into some of the other topics, I noticed that Sheriff Guy just joined us this morning. We wanted to say good morning to you, Sheriff, and thanks for being here. I guess before, it seems like public safety and hazmat and emergency management is top of mind this morning. So maybe we can start with that. I know last year we talked about the state-of-the-art 9/11 center and the hazmat garage, and really in terms of police protection even, Beaver County has, really become one of the top 3 where you haven't had to rely so heavily on state police. But I know a lot of the local municipalities are certainly struggling with, financing public safety. Do any of you want to talk a little bit about what the state of that is for the county now in terms of public safety? I mean, I think these last couple of days were a true test of how you're able to collaborate.
Yeah, well, first of all, a couple of key people aren't here because they're still in East Palestine. We know we have significant issues with the aging demographic we have in our volunteer fire departments. 47 fire departments, 34 police departments, 3 ambulance services. Response time is an issue. Our 911 center is fully staffed and fully functional and doing an excellent job. And Eric Brewer and Whipple's there too, still conducting that, coordinating activities with the folks in Ohio. It continues to be a high priority of us. Our, with Dan's leadership, the radios that we purchased was a significant way to allow for the communication and better financing for an issue that's been around for a long time in changing from analog to digital radios. So it continues to be a high priority. We continue to try and do what we can. We've invested training dollars in for the fire departments, make sure they're, my mantra as a former plant manager is to have well-trained and well-equipped employees. And we need well-trained, well-equipped volunteer firemen. If not, we're setting them up for failure. And that's an area where we can't afford failure.
That must be important. I have 2 microphones here.
How'd you manage
I am just a paraphrase on what Jack said. Public service is very, very important to the county. I mean, as far as our firemen and our policemen. And I know directly, I joined the fire department in 1970 when I was 18 years old. And I fought tanker fires, I've been a fire marshal, so I know what the danger was and how important it was to vent those tanks. And the danger that could have occurred if that would have exploded from the shrapnel. So we were protected. Our people were there, Ohio's people were there, Columbiana had a full force out, Beaver County had a full force out. We were really, really important to us to make sure that no danger would come to our citizenry. I mean, so I'm very, very proud of the fact that we, even though it's not a direct fund of the county, that we do find ways to pay for the service, the fire service and police service.
Yeah, as Commissioner Amadeo said, it's not one of our overviews is to step on municipalities' toes, whether it comes to merging police departments or merging fire departments. But I think we are starting to see a pivotal change in our culture when it comes to these 2 organizations, with the district attorney, David Lozier, who helped succeed in the first merger of police departments when it comes to Freedom, Baden, and Conway. Chief Bates, who is here, who's the chief fire in Bridgewater, who also serves on council, who's been a strong advocate to come into our Wednesday work sessions to continue. I was always told if you don't ask, you don't get. So when Commissioner Manning talks about reinvesting funds into training, they needed some funds to train new firefighters. And it's a very large burden on such a small tax base when it comes to these communities. The previous Board of Commissioners, Treasurer Agley's here, we did one of the things is where we passed policy that if you're a volunteer firefighter and you work for the County of Beaver,
and there is something going on, you are allowed to leave work, or you're allowed to come and work late and not be penalized with a vacation day, and you'll still be paid, because we know how important it is to fill positions in our local municipalities. I think of our 800 plus employees, I think maybe we have 6 to 12 volunteer firefighters. Our goal is to hopefully try and get a few more out of this. But we continue to have that vision on how can we support these municipalities other than just funding. So,
just one other quick thing I want to acknowledge about the event in East Palestine. Shell Chemical, I know there's a couple of folks from Shell, but Shell sent multiple foam trucks to respond to that, and that's based on the relationship that Eric Brewer and our EMS folks have with Shell. So very appreciative, Bill and Curtis, of your contribution to help with that situation.
It's a great public-private partnership there under your leadership. That's terrific. I guess we'll do we can't have a county commissioners panel without getting a quick update on reassessment plans. And Commissioner Camp, do you want to bring us up to speed on reassessment?
Sure. I think, obviously a lot of everyone understands by now that we were sued in 2016 for reassessment. So we didn't talk about the 2016 very briefly, but since 2017, all the state of the counties, we either gave an update or what's going on. At this point, there's no more court litigation when it comes to this. So what's happening now is all the property owners will receive their preliminary assessed values in March. From March to June, property owners will have a time for an informal appeal when it comes to appealing the data that has been collected by Tyler Technologies. From June, you will receive your final assessed value on your property. From June to November, you will now have a time to appeal that assessed value. And in November, the Board of Assessment Appeals will finally approve the tax revision for the tax roll for 2024. So you won't see your new tax bill until 2024 for county and municipal. School will be 2024-2025 school year. At this time, I know we continue to actually be patient, but you will start seeing these values. And I'm comfortable standing here as a commissioner saying, your value is going to go up, because now your value is going to look as if it is an assessed or an appraised value, and that's what you should be able to sell your house for. As your value goes up, our tax millage is going to go down. We're at 26 mills right now, 25 mills, and then 1 mill for debt service. Our mill is going to be virtually cut in half. And I don't think, we're in a position now that we will not have to raise those taxes. I can't speak for municipalities and school boards, but when they do, if they are raised, they can only be raised a certain percentage, 5% the first year, and after the first year, then they could continue to raise them. But that is where we are, that's where we stand now. I don't know.
When you get your amount, there's 3 things you can do: appeal, and appeal. We're in a process right now of creating 5 new boards, plus the board that we have, to accommodate all the appeals that people will bring before the county. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to go down. It's based on statistics, and the people involved are trained, and they know exactly what can be accepted and what can't be accepted. But the bottom line is, please don't panic when you get that number, especially if you look at your old number, because your old number was based on 1982 if your house was in existence. So whatever that value was, and I remember, because I was young, married, and you buy a house, brand new house, for $18,000. That same house that you paid $18,000 for can sell for $250 now, plus or minus a few thousand. So don't let those numbers scare you. If you're not happy with the figures, maybe see there's a number or a square footage size or whatever, then you can appeal.
I really have nothing to add. I'm not sure what was worse to inherit when I came in, a court-mandated reassessment with a pandemic, but neither one of them were necessarily pleasant. But I will say, I've been very impressed with Tyler Technology. They clearly know what they're doing. Multiple counties in the area, they truly are experts, and I've been impressed with the process that they've gone through. It's been slow, but it's been deliberative, and hopefully it'll be a lot more transparent to you when you get these numbers that these guys have already mentioned.
Okay, so moving away from train derailments and property taxes, let's go on to more pleasant things, commissioners. How about economic development? There's, I think, over 16 million you have allotted in the budget. I think folks want to know, sort of, now that the Shell plant is operational, what's next on the horizon in terms of economic development? And I think anything you can weave into your remarks about that have to do with workforce. We're getting a ton of questions about workforce development. That continues to be a huge challenge for employers here.
Well, we sit, the three of us sit on something called a CLEO. We're the chief elected executives that runs the Workforce Investment Board. So we're involved. We go to meetings on a monthly basis and trying to make sure that these jobs are managed and created. It's just that it's hard to get people to come to work and do their job. People have been staying home for so long that even the people that have jobs that are working remotely don't want to come back. So that's one of the biggest problems that businesses are having. It's a problem that we had for a while, but people are starting to come back to work. I still don't understand it. I love going to work. I enjoy it. I enjoy being there. I enjoy making things happen with the three of us. No, we work pretty hard with that. We have a lady that works for us, Amy Gatz. She's here. Amy, are you here?
She's in the back.
Amy, stand up. It's Amy Gatz. She's Gatz. She's a good Gatz. Yeah. She's in charge, and if you have any questions, in particular to workforce investments, that's the lady you want to see.
Commissioner?
Certainly what I've been working towards, what I think we've all been working towards, is diversifying our economic base in Beaver County. We can't be solely dependent on one industry, one company, or one segment. But advanced manufacturing and manufacturing is critical. Shell was an integral part of us getting through the pandemic, quite frankly. We didn't have several thousand people coming with some disposable income during that time. A lot of our mom and pop shops in our river towns wouldn't have made it, and some other things. But we just can't put all our eggs in a petrochemical basket any more than we should have with the steel.
With the flourishing of other industries or other businesses as a result of Shell being here, or it's sort of on the horizon?
Well, what I always point out are the non-petrochemical investments. Right. When Shell came into Beaver County, it put Beaver County on the map. It was the best marketing plan we ever could have gotten. Globally, everybody was looking at the largest construction project in North America in Beaver County. What's Beaver County all about? St. Barnabas, who owns a radio station, buys the Michael Baker campus. Not sure if that happens or doesn't happen if Shell doesn't announce. The mall wouldn't be there if Shell hadn't announced. Some of the anchors that are there, the hotel builds that have happened there. The hospital investments that have happened, Allegheny Health Network back behind the mall, the condos behind the mall, for heaven's sakes, right there in sight of that. And we're seeing different pockets of development all the time. Lou Vlade at CED gets calls all the time. We're getting a lot more diverse things than just something that's directly connected to using Shell's product. And that's part of that diversification, where we've got people interested in robotics. I see Bob Fisher here from Anchorage Valley Regional. His place is filled with an eclectic mix of different businesses, some of which don't get a whole lot of notoriety, but they're there. Education, finance has always been big in Beaver County and will continue to be a significant part of our local economic base. Tenaris, seeing Josh here, I'm not sure Tenaris comes in to Beaver County and buys a couple of steel mills and turns them around if Shell doesn't come. So I always get upset when I hear that, well, Shell hasn't done anything for us, only something for themselves. No, they have. They put us on the map, and we're getting a very diverse set of businesses coming to Beaver County.
But one second, I just want to add to that. I look at people, and how I know people are investing in Beaver County is the fact that building permits are going up and up and up. Certain communities, Chippewa, Brighton Township, Center Township, they're explosive. As long as they have the ability to tap into the sewer system, water system, things are happening. And until we get the infrastructure that we need rebuilt in Beaver County, the other areas will also grow. And it's important. We have a $2.2 million investment in our parks, quality of life. Finally, it was one of my dreams to get, not having to go into those bathrooms in Brady's Run and take my life in my own hands.
It's always the bathrooms.
Always the bathrooms and the spiders. That's what put me on. But we're getting water lines now. We're going to run water lines and sewer lines all the way to the back, where we have a potential to build a discovery center, an environmental center, to help our children learn about the environment.
Going back sort of to the energy sector and sort of jumping off that, is the county making any efforts or collaborating at all in terms of what's happening with the hydrogen hub plans for the region? I know Allegheny County focused on a lot of corporate entities. What is your involvement with that?
So we've been involved on the margins. I've attended a couple of conferences at Washington and Jefferson on it. Again, the CED, the three of us sit on the Corporation Economic Development Board. We know there is interest. We support that interest. They're trying to find the right locations. I strongly support the infrastructure that's needed to make those things happen. I've been an advocate for those kinds of things for quite some time. And I think it's a significant potential for investment in Johnson Beaver County.
Yeah, I first heard of it through SPC, which we're all members of. And up until I got ill, I was vice president, going to be president of SPC. And we were talking about it then. It's up to the governors. They're competing, Ohio, West Virginia, and Ohio, competing on a site. And the technology is so brand new right now that I think the bottom line is they're looking for a place to have a collection center and distribution. So once we get more information, we'll let you know.
And as commissioners both said, Lou Velotti from CED is really identifying the properties that we can target this hydrogen hub to come in from. We've all heard about from different areas. I've sat at a lunch meeting with our union leaders who more than anyone want to see this come because we have the workforce with the labor trades here. So that's one important thing, but as I said, we have to have the infrastructure to do that, and we're trying to work towards that whenever it comes to investing into our communities.
Yeah, back in 2012, when Shell first approached the board, that was the big plus for us that we had is our workforce, our unions, and the fact that our people can empty their union halls and do the job that's required. Now, granted, there were specialty people that came in that did specialty jobs, but as far as construction, our guys are second to none, and I'm very, very proud of them.
I think one of the things that Governor Shapiro ran on when it comes to energy, big manufacturing, petrochemical industry, that we don't have to make a false choice between having these sectors flourish and protecting our environment. So we have a couple questions up here about that and what the county's doing, to sort of continue promoting economic development in these industries, but also keeping our air and water clean and safe. Anyone want to comment on that? I know you have a Department of Health and monitoring.
We do not have a Department of Health.
Counties do, well, yeah.
The state won't let us have one as a fourth-class county. We rely on Allegheny County, but we have a significant movement on sustainability. I don't think she's here. Holly Vaught, who manages our sustainability and waste management. Our recycling program is second to none in the state. Many people come from all over to look at what she does, the composting that we do. We're continuing to look for more sustainable business, sustainable operations, recycling. We're hoping to build an educational discovery center there with the support that some people may know Shell contributed significantly to that effort. We're looking at electric vehicle stations. We're looking at more sustainable operations, carbon capture, as well as the hydrogen hub stuff. That false choice thing is was significant conversations that we've had with Governor Shapiro. Glad to see that he's probably going to reject Reggie, us joining that. Jim may know better than us, and that was good because we just can't turn off the gas. We just can't say, okay, no more natural gas. Where's the energy going to come from? You can buy all the electric cars you want, but last time I checked, you're not going to get very far if it's just a solar panel.
The rail car plume is showing us that we can't control the wind, right?
Well,
so.
that energy has to come from somewhere.
And the power plant.
Yeah, so.
No, I know I have too. And the power plants have to create and generate the electricity. So you're going to get pollution one way or another. It's just we have to be able to monitor it and keep our people safe.
Well, to Commissioner Manning's point, I mean, your rivers and your parks, don't tell Allegheny County I said this, but are unmatched, and I know that's something that you all care very deeply about.
And we're investing, as Tony said, we're investing heavily into that. Those, well, like if the pandemic showed nothing else, it showed how much people value the outdoors and being able to have green spaces and stuff, and support the Farm Preservation Bureau and the work they're doing to preserve farmland, the Conservation District. I serve on the Conservation District Board. We're making sure the development's done right, isn't impacting our waterways. So, as Tony said, our primary goal is to protect the health, safety, and in my mind, economic well-being of every resident of Beaver County. And there's a line you've got to walk to figure out what's the right thing to do.
So moving on to broadband, and then I'll get into some of the very locally oriented questions that are up here. And last year we talked a lot about the federal money that was made available to improve broadband access. I think it was in the neighborhood of $20 million. And I know we're lucky enough to have Chairman Marshall here from the Consumer Affairs Committee, and they've done a lot of work in Harrisburg with that. How is that money getting used, and since last year, what improvements have been made, or sort of what's on the horizon for broadband?
I could speak just briefly, and switch over here. I can speak just briefly, and I'll let Commissioner Maynard and Commissioner Amadeo. So far, of the $20 million that we had allotted for broadband to make sure that everyone has access to reliable internet service, we spent a little around $2 million with the leadership from Lance Grable in our planning and redevelopment. We have secured bids for the total project, and that is between $9 and $11 million roughly. We've identified the group who will be doing the whole project as a whole. When we put the bid out, it was separate bids, but we also accepted one bid as a whole. So we've identified that group, and we're going to be moving forward. As you said with Chairman Marshall here, I believe with Lance's leadership, we're at the top of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania when it comes to internet and how fast and how quickly we are ready to move. We didn't want to fall in the middle of the pack so that the equipment and resources that we need to put this access in the county wouldn't be available. So, we're ready to move, ready to pull the plug when it comes to supporting this project.
It's broken down into various parts. Being an old teacher, I have a handout that I brought with me. And Early Action Project, Hanover, is going to be 65 new locations. Big Beaver, Darlington, South Beaver, 139 new locations. Remaining connectivity opportunities, 1,541 locations in 24 additional municipalities. So it's an ongoing program. As we said, Lance Grable has been on top of this from day one. He meets with us, he puts us down in this little tiny room with no windows and no air, and he makes us go through this, but he does an excellent job. And I'm very, very thankful that we had somebody as knowledgeable as him to put this package together. And there's so much more to it. Towers, we're going to connect new towers, the hard lines, I forget what the other part's called. But the bottom line is, your son or daughter, if you live in an area like Jack does, you don't have to go.
Don't get me started on that.
You don't have to go to Panera's to do your homework.
Yeah, I've only had to be resuscitated, I think, twice in Lance's meetings down there. But just let me speak in general, because there's so much synergy between this. It's just not up to $20 million that we had allocated for broadband and connectivity. It's the importance of what that represents. We're talking about attracting and retaining people. We're talking about attracting and retaining businesses. Lou will tell you, I will tell you, that we get as many inquiries about connectivity as we do about water, sewer, electricity, and everything else. There are so many businesses. You're not building big office complexes with thousands of people in them anymore. People are working remotely. They're traveling. They may not even live in this state and still be working for businesses. So connectivity is just vital. And again, if you're trying to work from home, educate your kid from home, do telemedicine from home, which is the future with some of the dwindling healthcare issues that we have, entertain your family, shop from home. I mean, if you're not connected, you're lost. And unless we're at the forefront of this, which is, as Dan pointed out, Lance has been leading the way. We are. There are counties from all across the Commonwealth coming to see what we're doing. Michael Baker, I have to acknowledge them. They've done an excellent job providing oversight service, GIS, and everything else. They've been the boots on the ground for us, have done an exceptional job, and we're right in front of this because it's a critical item to the growth and development of Beaver County.
Yeah, and I think Commissioner Manning said it best. And when Commissioner Amadeo went through those numbers, you may sit here today and say, that's a very large investment for very few homes. You know, some people, you know, we get calls saying, you know, those people chose to move out there. They chose to be off the grid. But I think what this investment does is this draws, and this is the infrastructure we talk about, as Commissioner Manning said, not water and sewer. This is infrastructure for businesses to be around and into the areas that don't have reliable internet. And as they said, we get those questions, is there internet connectivity just as much as is there water and sewer?
Yeah, but the bottom line is they may chose to live out in the either northern sector.
They
or
didn't
the
choose
southern.
for school to be online.
Right. They still have to go to school. They still have to, I mean, their families still pay taxes. It doesn't matter where their house is, as long as it's in Beaver County, they're paying taxes. So they should have the same support that people that live in the center of the county, the northern part of the center, and up the river valleys. Everybody's entitled to the same services from our government.
So I'm getting a lot of questions about the American Relief dollars that came in post-COVID to the county. I think folks are just looking for just sort of a general breakdown of how that money went out the door and what it was used for.
Yeah, it's been allocated. It's not out the door yet. You have to, let me see if I can find my numbers here. You have to actually submit bills after the fact.
Well, we got almost $92 million of our reports, but even before that, we've probably gotten about, since the pandemic, about $125 million if you count the CARES money, ERAP money, and some of these other programs. But the American Rescue Plan itself was 90, and we broke it into 5 buckets.
Right. And I have the breakdown here naturally. 92 million, it's actually 91.9. We said 20 million to broadband, infrastructure 18 million, disproportionately impacted communities 16 million, public health 2.8 million, small business 1 million, not-for-profit 1 million, county, the budget commitments 2 million, the 911 upgrade 6 million, the Discovery Center 3.5 million. And we have over $4 million that's left unallocated. Now, that doesn't mean the money's paid out. You have a sewer project, you have to submit bills after the sewer project's in place. So there may be monies that don't end up getting spent. So we're trying to make sure we get people that submitted these projects to get them done, so that if we have money left over, we can reallocate it to someone else. But that's where our money went.
Yeah, and I think when Commissioner Amadeo talks about the money, something that I'd just like to acknowledge is this board and our financial advisor and our controller's office, when we do our budget, the federal calculation said that we could, as county commissioners and as a county as a whole, we could keep roughly a little over $40 million of that and put it back into the county for our county budget. But we chose to continue to push that out into the communities because we knew that they were the one with the lower tax bases and they were the one who were hit the hardest. When we talk about the $18 million infrastructure, we did it by population. We wanted to make sure that the infrastructure, the aging infrastructure across Beaver County was taken care of. We have to get those projects moving. If anyone's here from the municipalities, we want to make sure, by the end of 24, this money has to be spent. With all the projects that are going to come to fruition here soon, we have to make sure we're ready to go. But I think it's important to know that we chose to push this money back into the communities, and everything leads back to the economic development and safety of our residents in Beaver County, because as Commissioner Medeo said, there was $8 million for radios. We chose to do an 80-20 split. We upgraded our radio system in Beaver County, so the municipalities were going to be on the hook for millions, obviously $8 million worth of radios. We were able to support that, and then also we have a $6.5 million tower and radio communication investment upgrade to the 911 center.
With fiber cable. Yeah. I think the other thing is the 18 million to the municipalities. That sounds like a lot of money. We had $66 million worth of submissions come in from the municipalities. The needs are out there. We have a lot of aging infrastructure. This was important, as Dan said. We wanted to make sure, and it's because we've been fiscally responsible with our budget, that we didn't have to tap into it like some other counties did.
Yeah, and I just want to especially thank the 3 girls in our office, Nikki Long, our chief clerk, Cindy Cook, Jack's administrative assistant, and Brittany Colangio, Dan's administrative assistant. They're the girls that kept all this. They did the ledgers. They made sure that everything was done right and done properly, while the 3 of us are running around shaking hands and talking to you all.
So moving on, I think to the topic of diversity and inclusion, I think, before we even get to attracting a diverse workforce, that starts with our educational institutions. And recently, there was a vote to lift the term limits for board members at CCBC. I'm just wondering if you all can comment on what you're doing to ensure that we attract individuals of color to those leadership board positions, and what can we do to attract a more diverse workforce to Beaver County?
Well, you've hit a sore subject with me. I think the community college board of trustees has kind of lost their way. And you've heard me say this before, but I'm very, very loyal and protective of those people, places, and institutions that have had a profound impact on my life. And the community college has had a very profound impact on my life. When I first moved up here, I was appointed as one of the first group of trustees when the county took over the leadership there. And we had a mission with the current commissioners at that time, specifically Dan Donatell and Charlie Camp, that we would have geographic, experiential, minority, gender-based diversity on the board. For some reason, the vote to eliminate term limits, to me, locks them into a bad situation where you have not enough diversity, not enough experiential diversity, not enough geographic diversity. Three folks are from Center, not to point people, 3 people are from Center Township, 3 from Economy Borough, 2 from Alabama, 1 from Bridgewater. That's hard to keep representative of the county. But more importantly, when you look, the beauty of a community college is its ability to adapt and adopt changes about them, to be nimble and quick, and to handle new workforce development things, new curriculums, and the like. The fact that there's nobody from law enforcement on there, the fact that there's nobody from labor is still 50% of the population. I think by reappointing people without term limits, you're blocking that experience and the diversity that can come with it. And it's the Community College of Beaver County. And right now, and this is no surprise to the trustees who are in the room and to my colleagues, I've been very critical of that move. I hope they would reconsider or expand the board or do something so that we can have more diversity in boards. But it's not just this board. I've been on this kick across all of our appointments, all of our boards, all of our authorities. When you see the same names and you see people on boards ad infinitum, you wonder what new ideas, what are they bringing to that organization.
Any other comments?
I'm pretty proud of the Community College of Beaver County. I wouldn't be up on this dais right now if it wasn't for the community college in Beaver County. I started college at West Virginia University, and I came down with infectious mononucleosis. I'm sure some of you are familiar with that when you were younger. And I had to leave after midterm. And I happened to know somebody who was my medical doctor who was on the board of trustees at that time. He said, "Hey, Tony," he says, "you're smart enough, just so sign up, and when you get better, you'll get caught up." So without the community college, again, I wouldn't have been able to graduate from community college and transfer to California University. They go to Penn State. So the community college of Beaver County is very important to me. I'm also very, very proud of that board. They work hard, they squeeze us so hard. You have no idea what we put up with when they come to us asking for funding. We fund 1/3, but they're hardworking and they work hard for us. As far as the inner makings of the board itself, I never get involved in it. We get appointments, they get recommendations to us, and then we make the appointment based on their recommendations. We don't get involved in, there's the hook.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think we have some work to do in that department is what it sounds like to me. Going to some very local questions, folks would like for you to comment on the Rochester Flag Plaza, what's going on with the mall, and what is the focus on public transportation?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Do you want to wade into the community?
No, that's okay.
The flag park is closed. You'll have to ask Rochester Borough when it's going to be open, and they can do something there again. That's, again, not a county park. Used to take my dogs there for walks all the time, and I had to switch locations to see Neil out there. I catch him at a big rock park all the time, taking great photos of the eagles. The guy does there. There are 8 eagles, did you know that, between Beaver Falls and the Veterans Bridge. It's an amazing sight. Great attribute, great spot in Beaver County.
I'll do them all.
Okay, go ahead.
The Beaver Valley Mall is located in the center of the county. Used to be the thriving metropolis of Beaver County. Now, actually, let's go back. We can go back 20 years. They stopped putting money into the mall. They did one renovation. And I was on the board of supervisors at that time, and we would go to them and tell them, you know, what's going on here? Why are you letting this place disintegrate? And we would get no answer. So what we decided to do is we created business all around them, hopefully making them decide, you know what, hey, we got to compete here. But you can see that they didn't. What used to be, I think, 105 stores, I don't even know what the number is now. It's got to be low. But there's growth and development completely surrounding them. We even came up with a circle road that we developed to go around the mall. And we built all those places so that we can compete. But as far as the business at the mall, I can't give you an answer. We've tried everything.
Well, look, it's no secret that malls across the country are closing. Shopping trends have changed significantly. Amazon is hurting the malls like the malls hurt the mom and pop shops in our riverfront towns years ago, right? So it's just a nature of the way people shop and do that. We have no purview over that. And what your role was about transportation.
Commissioner Camp, you want to talk about transportation?
Sure, I mean, it's another thing. We appoint a board for the Beaver County Transit Authority. You know, throughout COVID and after COVID, we've heard a few complaints, and you know what we do is we direct it to them. Well, we have representatives there today. You know, if there's any concerns, it's just a comment on public transportation. I don't necessarily know if they're meeting our transit authority, if they're meeting more Uber or more Lyft drivers in Beaver County. Please come up, whoever asked that question, please come up after and we could discuss what your concern is whenever it comes to public transportation in the county of Beaver.
I do know that Mary Jo Morandini attends the government affairs committees with the chamber. She's well aware of some of the issues there. And I know they're looking at new models of delivery of that. They've been very good for the homeless shelter and trying to work out a solution for point of service, bus service that hasn't been provided before. It's tough with some of these smaller communities. You send a bus out there and you pick up one person a day. It hardly makes it economically feasible for you to continue to send a bus to some of those spots.
Bus ridership is still important, particularly bus ridership connecting to Pittsburgh, where there's some additional jobs for people. So I know they're working on that, but again, that's the purview, and I see Dick and different board members there as well from PCTA, but they try and do the best they can to provide excellent service, which kept going during the pandemic under no easy circumstance as well.
We're about to get yanked off this stage. Donna Lee has warned me about 7 times now, which I promptly ignored all the warnings. So
you can be yanked too.
As you, that's right. She is the ultimate say. But as you make your closing remarks, we also have a number of questions I didn't get to with regard to human services. And I know we talked a lot about that last year, because again, sort of post-pandemic, that's such an integral part of county government. So as you make your closing remarks, I'll start with you, Commissioner Camp, and go down the line. Maybe comment on what's on the horizon for human services in the county.
Yeah, thank you. So as I mentioned in my opening remarks, Director Mike here, who is our Director of the Human Services, recently we merged somewhat Human Services, Behavioral Health, Office of Aging, and Children Youth Services. This is a model that's been done across the Commonwealth. We adopted it. So one of the things that we would like to share the services amongst the 3 departments. We see this in municipalities, we see this in school districts, whether they share services. We are going to start doing that. We have recently received funds through the opioid epidemic lawsuit. We are working closely with Director Mike and his staff to put programs out there to continue to support our communities and our residents across Beaver County. So that's one of the things that we have on the horizon whenever it comes to human services. As for closing remarks as well, I just want to thank everyone in this room because at one point or another, the people in this room are probably also serving Beaver County. We are the 3 faces of the Board of Commissioners, but behind us is all the hard work that everyone does here. You continue to grow and move your communities forward, your businesses forward, and I thank you for that, and I thank you for always investing your time and your dollars and your efforts in Beaver County.
There isn't enough time, really, in 1 hour to get to everything that I would like to, and I'm sure that you would like to. I mean, there's a dozen different projects that I've got spinning on plates, trying to hope we get across the finish line with. But I'll just sum up the collaborations that we have with all of you are extremely important. I'm big into public-private collaborations and operations. One of our sheriff's deputies comes to me and says, I'd like to plant trees in our parks in memory of loved ones that they've lost to cancer. Jumped on that opportunity. 150 trees have been planted in our parks to help reforest our parks. That Bags and Blessing thing is just one of multiple collaborations like that we've been able to do. There's and I just had this conversation with some folks, there's a trust deficit in our country. I don't think Beaver County is as bad as some other areas are with that trust deficit. Institutions and things, that the government that we used to believe in, have faith in, from law enforcement to the courts to the FBI to judges to education to the church. I mean, there's this trust deficit, and I see my role as trying to close that gap. And the only way I can do that is by being as accessible, as transparent, as vocal, and as visible as I can to be out there. And that's my mantra that I'll continue to do this year through the rest of this term. Because only by seeing what we're doing, hear what we're doing, acknowledging your great work, and being out there with you, can we close that trust deficit? Because right now, it's debilitating in Washington and Harrisburg. I don't want to see it happen here in Beaver County, and I hope it won't. The future is extremely bright for Beaver County. I believe we have much more potential than any of our surrounding counties in that Pittsburgh metropolitan area right now. And I just want to see us fulfill that potential. So, thank you.
Yeah, that's been our biggest fight, holding off what's happening on a national level and on a state level. because we're dealing with very, very important issues on our level. Behavioral health is a big, big issue. And I've known Gerard Mike now, it's going on, this is my 16th year. And he's my go-to guy when it comes to behavioral health. And it affects families, it affects children in school, it affects our senior citizens. They don't know which way to turn, especially if they don't have families. So that's what I enjoy about this job. And so we're so close to that. That we don't have to worry about going to Harrisburg or going, not that that's bad, and going to Washington, because we get in our little room and we get in our executive sessions and handle the issues that we need to handle. And I thank you for supporting us. I thank you for coming today and supporting us. The food was excellent. Brittany stole my bacon thing I wanted to do this morning. Bacon's my favorite food. You notice I was the only one eating this morning. These two guys, hey, they never eat. They sit there, they talk, they enjoy talking. I enjoy eating. So when I get the opportunity to do that, I do. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for coming, and great time. We had a great time.
And I'm happy to report I checked my shed. I have no confidential documents anywhere on my property that I'm aware of. So you can rest of these in full transparency.
Thank you so much to everybody that attended today. We really appreciate the wonderful turnout and the support. Thank you so much to our speakers, commissioners. We really appreciate you being here. And Tracy, what a wonderful job you did again. Let's hear it for the commissioners. Before you welcome you to any of the other events that the Chamber has coming up, there are programs on your tables that list these as well. And then if we can take a look at the next slide, please. We have year-long sponsors of 2023. We'd like to thank these companies for sponsoring these kinds of events in our Chamber throughout the year. And then lastly, again, thanking Geneva College and our sponsors with SMGG. And I'd like to ask if you would please, Calvin, Dr. President Trout, if you'd come forward, Harry, if you'd bring your folks up, Scott, and some other folks I've talked with, Brittany, come up and have a quick picture, and then I understand that the commissioners are available to answer some questions. So we'll take a quick picture and then come on board. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Oh, don't forget about the tours.
And don't forget, if you would like a tour, we do have some lovely admissions student workers out in the lobby to give a tour.
I should have been more specific.
And that's going to wrap up the State of the County breakfast here at Geneva College. It's been interesting. The topics were topics that concern Beaver County residents. As far as the economy is concerned, questions about what happened in East Palestine came up, and the concerns about air and water. And I was personally gratified to see the three commissioners on the same page. You don't always hear them together. They're rarely all together at one particular outing, but the questions they all seemed capable of answering, and answering questions that were concerning to businesses, to the Shell plant, to residents, property owners, the reassessment issue, which looms heavily on Beaver County property owners' minds as to how that's going to play out. The commissioners today, as they have in the past, stated that they were opposed to it, property tax reassessment or property reassessment, but that they were taken to court and were sued, and so they had to move forward with it. And they acknowledged that not everyone is going to be happy with it, but this is the position that they are in, and that there will be an appeal process if you're not satisfied with the findings of the reassessment. once a month, the commissioners appear on the Teleforum program with Eddie Crow, and speaking with Dan Camp, the commission chairman, before the program this morning, he said that he's open to coming back on the radio. It's been a while since he's been a guest on that show, but it certainly would be good and valuable to Beaver County radio listeners to have all three commissioners there to talk about issues that come up on a week-to-week basis. Eddie Crow is next with Teleform. I'm Mike Romai at the State of the County breakfast at Geneva College on Beaver County Radio. Thank you for joining us.
Insurance doesn't adequately describe what we sell. This is Bill Laughlin from Laughlin Insurance Agency. Sure, affordable insurance is the means that allow us to do it, but we really provide at the Laughlin Insurance Agency is peace of mind. It's true, worrying about risk can take the fun and joy out of almost everything. We see every day how having peace of mind can lead to more enjoyment, which, last time we checked, is a fairly priceless commodity. Make life more enjoyable. Visit LaughlinInsAgency.com.
You're tuned in to a presentation of the 2023 State of the County address being held at Geneva College in Beaver Falls. The State of the County is being presented by Beaver County Radio along with BCR streaming outlets in conjunction with the Beaver County Chamber of Commerce, who is the host of this event. Coverage of the State of the County on Beaver County Radio is being brought to you by St. Barnabas, the Pride Transportation Group, Carver Construction, Circle of Friends, the Beaver Valley Auto Mall, J. Young Refuse, Electric Garage Door Sales, the Cornerstone of Beaver County, and the Laughlin Insurance Agency.